Hello, Mallards. It is Wednesday, and Megan and I watched the first 2 episodes and like a little bit more of
The Circle.
season 3 of The Circle, a show that you know we love deeply.
Except maybe not this season.
Yeah,
We're stressed.
Yeah, we're already very stressed. So things that The Circle has learned over their 2 seasons. Clearly they figured out that when they start with a small group, the people from that small group are going to be the ones who stay until the end, and like the winner is always going to be one of the first people. So they were like, let's just go for broke and start with a huge group, which I think is a better choice.
I think instead of starting with 5...
4. They started with 4 the first season.
Yeah, but I think last season they started with 5. And actually, I'm not sure that they started with 4 the first season. I think they started with 5, added 1. This person's safe, voted 1 off. So then there were like 4 that were there most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
If that
I
makes
was
sense.
gonna say, I think that they started with 4, and then they didn't do like a vote off, and they added a person. But I don't know. I don't remember.
But normally, like the newer person is safe.
Yeah.
So I think they started with 5. This person was new but safe, and was the guy with his mom. And then the pretty blonde model girl immediately got voted off.
Yeah.
I think.
And so it's just small, but this time they just like went in with 8.
Did 8
to begin with, which
voted
I think
off 1. Didn't have that 1 actually leave.
Oh wait, hold on. We'll come back to that. So they started with 8, which I think is a better choice. Like I think it's good to start with more, because I think that then also like while you're voting and adding, like it doesn't build the same sort of like strong initial pool that the 5 sort of did. Yeah. The other thing that they've clearly done is gone through and been like, this is how you say everybody's names. Because there have been no stumbling over what anybody else's names are, including...
That's true.
There's a K in this, and she spells her name Kai, which every time I have encountered that name, people have said Kai. Because, like, that's a character from the Vampire Diaries, and their name is Kai. And I know several non-binary people who use the name Kai, and their name is Kai. So it being K was strange to me and would then have been strange to some other people, but no one said it wrong. And, like, no one has said anyone's name incorrectly. They're all saying it the same. So I think that, unlike in previous seasons where they just, like, let people guess, they were like, we should make a conscious decision to go around and be like, here are the names of the contestants.
Sure, yeah.
Which I also think was a good decision. Because I don't want to see people just butchering somebody's name.
I didn't really remember, like, that's never bothered me before enough for it to stick with me. But if you say they did it, I believe you. I think that they obviously made the right choice having the 8 people at the beginning, but then they didn't want to like get up to 10 within the first couple of episodes. And I think that they are normally at 8 by episode 3 or 4. So
I was going to say by like episode 4 you're at 8.
So they stayed sort of at that 8 number. They didn't like let it get down to 5 and then add people by doing this weird thing.
Okay.
Because last season they had 2 people who were voted off join together to do a profile together, and it created
somebody else.
Best union of Jack and I don't remember the woman's name, but them in their little suits when they were like adorable
and absolutely wonderful, and a psychic character that
where
we
like
loved.
The Circle made up their profile
and it was
them.
a great time.
And so I thought that that's what they were gonna do, and I kind of wish they'd done that.
No, not even kind of. I very, very, very much wish they'd done that.
The new game mechanic was exciting at first. I don't
which
think
is
it
that
went on
they
for
had
as long as it did.
The 2 people who got voted off got to choose another.
The one person who got voted off, but it happened to be someone who was playing.
Yeah, that's
being
true.
Played by
it was
2 people.
2 people playing 1 person.
But
so 1 person got voted off. And they got the opportunity to clone any other person in the circle and pretend to be them. And then, so they would see 2 versions, like 2 different colors. So a blue and an orange version of this character. It happened to be the 52-year-old woman, Michelle. And then at the end of the day, they vote on who they think is real, and that person gets to stay and the other person gets voted off.
And spoiler alert, they vote off the real one, which was frustrating.
Very frustrating.
More than that was that there was an entire 50-minute episode where they didn't vote anyone off.
Yeah.
And that person had already decided who they were catfishing as. So it was literally like a full episode of this 52-year-old woman getting really upset.
Yeah, that somebody was pretending to be her. And us watching as people believe. So they did this game where they showed pictures and had them describe it. And the fake Michelle, like, played it safe, saying very vague things. So, like, being like, this is the emotional feel, but I'm not going to say any specifics. And the other Michelle was very specific because they're her photos. But and people felt like there was no emotion behind it and it wasn't believable. That is not how I felt, but, like, I don't know how we would have felt in the game. But it was...
Yeah, if we didn't know, it would be hard to tell. And, like...
It was very stressful.
There were some things that, like... You know, sometimes you say the truth and it sounds like a lie. Mm-hmm. So there was definitely some stuff that was like that. I think that if, in the end, they had voted off fake Michelle, the episode would have felt, like, valid. Like, it would have been yes, they got her. Look at them go. Because every time they believed the right person, we were like, yes. And it, like, felt like good television.
But every time they believed the wrong person, it felt terrible. And you could watch it building.
Most of the time, they fell for the person who was wrong. And most of the screen time of that episode was devoted to the real Michelle getting really upset.
And it just didn't feel good. Like, it got to the point where Megan and I were like, maybe we don't want to watch anymore.
Yeah, like, we were having a bad time. And we finished because I wanted it to be done. Because if we had finished at the end of episode 2...
You still wouldn't have known.
Yeah, and if at the end of episode 2... I wouldn't want to sit down and, like, watch it again. I'd be like, let's watch something else.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, if we'd watched this when it was coming out, we would have finished episode 2, and I don't know when we would have caught up on the season.
Yeah. But we got through that part, so we're halfway through episode 3. And they're introducing some new people, and we'll see how it goes, I guess.
We like the new person who's being introduced already. Her name is Sophia, but she's catfishing as her sister Isabella, and I have dreams of the way that this will end beautifully. But yeah, so it was an interesting premise. I just think that the way it ended up was terrible, and I feel really bad for real Michelle. And
I think they could have done a better job editing the episode, because the person who's editing it knows how it's going to end.
Yeah, so they could have edited it so that there was also some other interesting things, like, watched a couple of chats that we enjoyed and thought were hilarious, like Nick flirting with the girl who is a catfish. So a gay man is catfishing as his lesbian friend. And it was clear, I guess, to everybody but Nick that she was a lesbian.
So straight men are dumb.
Yeah, and he started flirting with her, and then the gay man was like, yeah, but I think that Nick is hot, so I'm gonna flirt back. And then he was like, I know, I promised my friend Ashley that I wouldn't flirt with any men, but you'll just have to beat me up later. And I was like, this is funny. This is the kind of drama that we enjoy about The Circle. Yeah. We're here for that. And then it went back to the whole Michelle thing, and we were like, why?
Yeah, I think they really, like, could have just edited it to be more satisfying when the girls won.
Yeah,
but
and it didn't need to be
so
this long.
Unlikable.
Yes.
That, like,
that's also what makes it hard. Like if they were likable people,
likable, be like, okay, like, I feel really bad for Michelle, but, like, we gotta do this. Like, her responses are really nice, but we can't play into it. You know, if they felt really genuine.
Yeah, but they didn't seem to feel very genuine.
They don't feel bad at all. Like, say they feel bad, but they don't. Yeah. And we didn't like them in the first place.
I think it just made it kind of hard. But we are going to continue to watch because that stress is over, and also because we're gluttons for punishment. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know how The Circle's going. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm going to start refusing to participate in the kiss and just waving. How does that make you feel? As betrayed as The Circle made you feel?
Maybe more betrayed.
Whoa!
I have a longer relationship with this kiss than I do with The Circle. Megan doesn't love me anymore.